I'm Specialist Marquis Dawkins. Welcome to the first issue of Dragonfire Video Magazine. In May, the Brigade launched Operation Dragonfire to improve security and essential services to the Rashid district. Specialist Ben Washburn shows us the highlights, starting with a story in Baghdad about a neighborhood that's a good example for others to follow.
Children jumped around in celebration as Iraqi and coalition forces provided security for a ceremony marking Mahalla 801 as a safe neighborhood. The 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment, 4th Brigade, 1st Infantry Division assists the Iraqi security forces in providing protection for Mahalla 801 and is making a difference here. The ceremony included the presentation of a large check, signifying the commitment by Iraqi and coalition forces to preserve neighborhood safety and provide essential services to the area. Private Andrew Ratliff said it's important for the Iraqis to see what life can be like when everyone gets along.
They need to look and see what it could be like, see more of American modernized people living together without death and destruction.
Colonel Ricky D. Gibbs, commander of the 4th Brigade, 1st Infantry Division, was on hand and explained to the Iraqi media what the Model Mahalla program is.
The Model Mahalla program we have is to take a neighborhood, make it safe, and provide the essential services within that neighborhood that the people need and want.
Soldiers from the 1st Battalion, 28th Infantry Regiment patrol the neighborhood and, working with local Iraqi population, ensure that it remains safe. Lieutenant Colonel Pat Frank, the battalion commander, said that everyone works together to provide safety and essential services to the area.
It's a partnership. It's both. It's American forces, it's Iraqi security forces, both the Iraqi police, the national police, and the Iraqi army. And we do this in conjunction with the NACs, the local citizens that have been elected to those councils. They've helped us design these projects, and they tell us where they would like assistance.
2 Iraqi television stations were present at the event to tell the Iraqi people themselves about the progress being made in Baghdad. Without the improving security, the Iraqi media would not be able to venture into the streets to tell the story of the lives of Iraqis. The event was a success, with all signs pointing to a safe and prosperous life in this area of Baghdad. Specialist Ben Washburn, 4th Brigade Public Affairs Office, Baghdad.
Thanks for that report, Ben. The U.S. is making efforts through the State Department, not only the military, to assist the Iraqi government. Here's more.
The future of the American role in Iraq is often made in conference rooms filled with high-ranking officers. Now, these conference rooms are also filled with State Department civilians. A new aspect of the Iraq strategy is to embed Provincial Reconstruction Teams, or PRTs, at the brigade level. PRTs are a State Department team whose goal is to assist the Iraqi government in standing up its economy and government to function effectively on its own. Previously, PRTs worked at the province level and higher. The move to the brigade level is to allow more teams to work more closely with local governments, such as district and neighborhood councils. Timothy Zuniga Brown, the 4th Brigade PRT chief, said the PRT works well with the Iraqis and that being civilians rather than military places them in a unique position to work together.
I think that in working with the Iraqis, one of the things that they are looking for is partners, and I think we're very good partners for them. They're very comfortable and used to working with the military by now, but they also, I think, welcome working with the civilians from the United States, and I think that's one of the things we're able to bring with them.
While the PRT is a State Department organization, it does have a military liaison. Lieutenant Colonel Tom Kurlick is the Deputy Chief of the PRT. He said being with the 4th Brigade has really helped them get involved with the local leaders in the Rashid district.
But the brigade has been wonderful in accepting us, providing us the resources so that we can get out into the areas to not only to assess, but to meet the district council members, to work with them.
The PRT at the 4th Brigade consists of 7 people who work with the military and the Iraqis to make Iraq a better place. Specialist Ben Washburn, 4th Brigade Combat Team Public Affairs Office, Baghdad.
Okay, thank you, Ben. The 4th Brigade enjoyed big success on the battlefield as well as improving quality of life. Highlighting Operation Dragonfire was finding and the destruction of the largest car bomb making factory in Iraq since the war began.
Acting on a tip from an Iraqi citizen, soldiers attached to the 4th Brigade, 1st Infantry Division uncovered a large weapons cache and improvised explosive device factory on June 11th. The find included bombs, mortar rounds, artillery shells, landmines, and over 300 5-gallon drums of nitric acid used for making improvised explosive devices. In addition, coalition forces found a vehicle wired with explosives and another 3 vehicles wired and ready for explosives. Coalition forces also found enough wiring and electronics for over 300 IEDs. Colonel Ricky D. Gibbs, commander of the 4th Brigade, 1st Infantry Division, was proud of the soldiers.
Well, I think it says a lot for the soldiers, their training, their discipline, their commitment, the fact that in the heat of the day they were able to find these things buried underground under the trees. It also says something for the Iraqi people. The Iraqi people gave us a tip to some of these.
The heat of the Iraqi sun didn't stop the soldiers as they continued their mission throughout the day. Colonel Gibbs said 2 messages were sent to the enemy.
I think the first message it sends is that the people are against you, against the bad people who are trying to make Iraq a safe haven for terrorism. Secondly, it says that there are no safe havens in Iraq. The people of Iraq are going to tell us where they're at. They're going to tell us where all these things are buried. And when they do, we're going to go find them.
This was a large victory for coalition forces, with hundreds of IEDs prevented, as well as 4 deadly car bombs taken off the streets. Specialist Ben Washburn, 4th Brigade Combat Team Public Affairs Office, Baghdad.
During Operation Dragonfire, the soldiers of the brigade worked very hard to make Iraq a safer and more prosperous place to live. Thank you for checking out this edition of the Dragonfire video magazine. Remember, you can check with your family readiness groups for the printed edition of the Dragonfire magazine. From Falcon in Baghdad, I'm Specialist Marquise Dawkins.